introduction. I want the group to know that this podium is a prop, not a crutch, so I want that noted in my Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I thought I would start my first speech, the Icebreaker speech at Toastmasters, by going by the book, so to speak. I'm sure all of you utilized the Competent Communicators Manual when you gave your first Icebreaker. It talks about discussing with your audience your interests, ambitions, and background. And I thought I would divert a little bit from that script and talk about those things, but in the context of my experiences in public speaking. For as long as I can remember, I've been interested in politics, public affairs, and ironically, great speeches. I have worked on congressional campaigns, local state house races, and even got my start in the 1996 Iowa presidential caucuses by volunteering for Bob Dole. I loved almost every minute of it, and felt very privileged for the experience. Throughout these various assignments, I had to do a fair amount of public speaking, but not necessarily to crowded auditoriums or anything like that, more to gymnasiums of 20 to 30 volunteers. My job as field director was to be motivator in chief, get all the boots on the ground, out working for our cause. We won some and we lost some, and it was all great fun. In fact, I thought I was pretty well trained for this line of work. In 8th grade, shortly after my family and I moved to Kansas City for the first time, I signed up for the Overland Park Optimist Club speech contest. And I won a silver medal that day. And actually, I tried to find it, bring it today, and it is lost to the ages, unfortunately. But I found my speech in my niche in speech class, and that worked for me very well. When we moved again, this time to West Des Moines, Iowa, junior year, I didn't know a soul. So I thought a good way to build some name recognition and maybe get some friends along the way was to run for class office. So a few days after I arrived, I stated my case in front of my new classmates, 2,200 of them, and predictably, I finished dead last in that race. But I won some friends along the way, which of course was the whole point. Senior year, I had an opportunity to deliver our graduating class's commencement address. I'm pleased to say that after 3 weeks of nonstop preparation and some really good instruction from my forensics teachers, that particular address went without a hitch. Since that time, I've had the opportunity to serve on several nonprofit boards of directors where standing up and speaking to our benefactors and stakeholders has been a regular occurrence. Additionally, I found myself, believe it or not, officiating a few weddings, delivering eulogies at funerals, and even speaking at our rehearsal dinner and wedding reception this past April. On balance, those experiences were positive and has made me a better speaker in some ways and helped me grow as a writer of speeches. Now, on to the not so good. In recent years, I've been in front of groups primarily in my present job where I've struggled to get through even 3 to 5 pages of written remarks. Nothing memorized or extemporaneous, simply reading words on page. It has become so much more difficult to appear in front of groups that now I'm finding myself turning down opportunities which I never used to do before. The requisite soul searching that has occurred has been quite revealing. I hope that by being honest with myself, I can move past the recent rocky road in public speaking that has been experienced. The root cause, I believe, is the sudden realization that I'm not simply speaking for just myself anymore. Words do matter, and I may be speaking not just for fun anymore, or a cause that I feel passionately about necessarily. My words can, on some occasions, impact people's lives. On one of my more difficult appearances in 2012, I had to deliver the news to the advisory board of an organization that my agency funds that their budget would be cut by nearly 50% in the upcoming year. Staffing levels would be affected, as would the amount of research they would be able to conduct. Tough news to deliver, and it showed. I wasn't happy with my performance, and I even vowed that it would be my last on stage. A few other incidents preceded this particular appearance, whether it was in front of a hostile audience of concerned citizens or a heated, vociferous hearing in the legislature. I would often fumble for words or get lost in mid-sentence, provide a halting, staccato-like speech pattern that you may have heard earlier today from me that hardly exudes confidence. I would feel seized by the magnitude of the moment. Stage fright, perhaps? So much for a lifetime of experience. Now, I don't mean to give the impression that it's been all bad. Last February, I was asked to deliver 2 speeches at one particular event, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, 30 minutes apiece, including one session that was followed by the governor. I was terribly nervous, but fought through my moment of seizure, and it went remarkably well. And by the end of my prepared remarks, I even had migrated away from the podium, had established a rapport with the audience, and I think it overall went very well. I had my confidence back, but I fear only for a short time. Today, the reality is I'm not sure who is going to show up each time I get behind the podium. The concerned citizens groups, city councils, and boards of directors are not going to disappear from my calendar anytime soon, nor do I want them to. What is truly needed is an honest look at how to better prepare for these groups and not be intimidated by them. In closing, the title of my speech by the book not only references the Toastmasters Competent Communication Guide that I used to prepare today, that I know all of you did at one time, but I envision as a recurring theme throughout my subsequent 9 speeches that I'll be delivering. I hope you can join me for them, as I am very much looking forward to it. Thanks so much.